So this is a quick tutorial on how to get you up and running on AdvisorClaw in just a minute or two. And so this is the login screen that you'll enter your password into. And just here's a quick overview that's helpful. We've got a link to a resources page, which we'll be updating over time with everything from new skills, custom prompts, good prompt hygiene, and a lot more tutorial videos. But first and foremost, this is the dashboard. So remember, what is AdvisorClaw? This is a dedicated computer. This is a virtual private server that's running Linux, and it's got a customized agentic harness. So what that means is it's not just an LLM, a large language model. It's a whole set of tools and capabilities around that. That's what agents are. And it's built specifically for financial advisors, for investors. This is private. Nothing is shared, so you decide what you upload onto this and what you pull down from it. So again, this is your computer. This is better than using a desktop because this doesn't have access to anything that's private, etc. And again, all of this is customized. So just a quick walkthrough here. We've got a workspace on the left-hand side. This is just like Windows Explorer. This is a notable upgrade from if you were to just use something like a ChatGPT or a Claude. A lot of the big complaints are that it's difficult to actually work in a file system. This also has upgraded memory. So this has actual persistent memory where it learns about your firm. So the first thing we encourage people to do is go to firm info and just fill out as much or as little as this as you want. But the whole point of AdvisorClaw is that it learns to become part of your firm over time. So it's not just having a bunch of fancy tools and LLM capabilities. It gets to know you, your clients, your preferences, etc. On the right is the agents. As you use this over time, you'll notice that the main agent will invoke sub-agents to help do tools. If you have dedicated projects that are deep dives, you can set up a dedicated agent. So for primary models, let's talk a little bit about this. This comes shipped with our IDX models out of the gate. These are very powerful, and most importantly, they're free for you. So we have DeepSeek as well as GLM, the latest GLM 5.2, and Kimi. If you upload your Claude or OpenAI keys, you can use any of the frontier models as well. Fallback models, again, it's always helpful. It's good hygiene to have a fallback model. I'm going to set Kimi for this. So this is going to create a new agent for this one. This is project 123. And this is helpful, and we'll talk a lot more about this in future videos, but this is helpful when you've got long-running deep dive projects where you want separate context. So here's agent 123, ready to go. So it's got its own file structure that I can upload files into, etc. If we go back to main agent, this is just like any other LLM. So you can go ahead and just start kicking off jobs to it. You'll notice here, I talked earlier about custom skills, custom agents. This comes preloaded with a number of different custom agents. So a data analysis agent, a market researcher agent, as well as custom tools and code that we've used over the years that have been very helpful to us. One of that is our whole, what we call macroeconomic risk of loss indicator model, Merlin for short. This is something that we've used, over decades at this point. That's helpful for just kind of thinking about the regime that we're in, helping cast decisions. And so we ship that as part of the capability here. And you can customize that. You can make it your own. You can edit it. And you see this agent is running. It's delegating it to the market researcher. Again, that's kind of just good hygiene over time. While that's running, I can go here and kick off another agent. This also comes with capabilities for using X or Twitter out of the gate. Increasingly in recent years, we found that X is actually a very good source of information. You've got to sift through a lot of things, and you can set up customizations around that, but it's very helpful to have that capability. So we have this shipped. So these are two projects running side by side. While those are running, one thing I do want to talk about as well, here you can see memory, cron jobs. Cron just means anything that runs on a regular cadence. So this comes shipped with, so you can set this up however you want. This comes shipped with our daily digest, which again is something that we use exclusively. You can go in and edit this. You can read what exactly this is doing. I'm going to go ahead and create this right now. And so this is going to run every single morning, every weekday morning, first thing in the morning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kick it off right now. And so this is helpful because you'll see that this agent model has now kicked off a sub-agent specifically to run this cron job. So again, here you've got kind of 3 junior employees, each running their tasks. We can click in here and see exactly what it's doing. And then this is designed to output it to a market briefing table. And so this is very helpful, as you start thinking about workflows, automating workflows, et cetera, we originally built this capability out for ourselves internally and just kept extending it and extending it. And now these act like real agents inside our workforce. So you can see this just finished the morning brief. Went ahead and saved it in here. And so here you can see, again, this is something we like. You can customize this. You can have several versions of this. I like to have one that's purely fixed income every morning, looking at spreads, things like that. And again, the system prompts in the background are designed to prioritize, expert opinions, filter out noise and hype, et cetera. So it's really good at getting the most up-to-date information. Again, this is just dedicated to X. You can customize this for different sources, et cetera. We go back down to, So go back to the chat. So that was the cron job that ran. Let's go to project 123. Again, this was a dedicated Twitter poll. And again, here we have this just in the chat. We can tell it to output this as a document. But again, this is really helpful for getting kind of the latest takes. And then if we go back to the main agent, remember these are all running concurrently. So this is telling us that it outputted 2 reports. This is our Merlin report. So again, this is our macro economic risk of loss indicator. This is what we like to look at. And you can customize this. People have created trading systems out of this. You can backtest it all within AdvisorClaw, or you can, again, put your logo on this and have it be a client-facing report. But again, this is, all part of the different workflows that are really helpful to run. Last thing I'll mention is the savings tab. Like I said, we did all of this using our IDX models as opposed to the frontier models, which have gotten enormously expensive in recent weeks. So this number doesn't look like much now, but this number starts to explode. So your actual usage is 0. How do we run frontier models? That would have already cost us, about 7 cents. You can imagine as the workloads get more intense, this number, for me, this number is, well into the hundreds a day. So at any rate, this is just a quick video on getting you up and running on AdvisorClaw. As always, don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, and keep an eye out for videos where we start going over the shoulder look-throughs into actual advisor workflows that our clients are using AdvisorClaw to do everything from writing their own applications and dashboards to deep research to report generation, et cetera.